just never knew how to tell you.
I would be able to talk about my life.
I ever loved a lot.
I have two moms.
You want me to say it out loud?
I moved here to Australia from the Philippines 4 years ago. I came to Australia only because my brother used to live here. Australia was never an option for me before my first visit, as most of my family live in America. And why Australia? I knew straight away that Australia was the place for me on my very first trip to Sydney. I don't have an Aussie boyfriend yet, maybe someday. I started taking hormones about 3 years ago. I may look like a girl, but I'm really not one yet. My name is Noni, but people know me as Nina. My father was the very first person to accept me for what I am. He treated me differently from my brothers. I guess my parents always knew. It was probably difficult for them, but I was loved. I had a very good childhood. I liked playing house with my cousins. My parents would buy me toy guns, but I would always put them inside my sister's toy handbag and pretend to be a lady detective. I also liked to wear my mother's clothes and high heels. She once caught me wearing her clothes when I was 10, and she didn't say a thing. I always knew I was different from when I was old enough to understand. As a child, I always liked doing the girly things. I never did the rough, blokey, sporty things expected from young boys. Into my puberty, I was happy with who I am. I never had a physical encounter with a girl. I guess I was happy being, shall we say, gay. But at the back of my mind, I knew I was more than just gay. That I was and am a special girl. I am a transgendered person, but I prefer to be called a special girl. I don't parody women since I am a woman. This is hard for people to understand sometimes, the whole process of emasculating yourself. I don't really plan very far ahead in my life. I always believe that life is there for living and that life is now. As a special girl, I see myself having the full surgery and living my life as a normal woman. It is a big change for me, but it is the only change to make me the full human being that I am. I finished university back in the Philippines. Then I came to Australia and studied information technology. I presently work as a database coordinator for a company in the city. It was really interesting how I got in because I applied as a man and slowly opened up at work.
Okay, thank you.
Now I come to work as a woman. My colleagues at work are cool about my identity. Being an immigrant was never an issue. Assimilating to a new culture was never a problem for me. I guess I always like to learn and I'm always open to new things, and I love to learn new cultures, meet people of different races. I love adventure. It makes life more exciting and it also gives life a new meaning. Australia is so different from the Philippines. While Australia is very British, the Philippines is a country whose culture is strongly Spanish-American, yet still very Asian. I guess Filipinos are the way we are, from a combined influence of Spanish convent Catholicism and American Hollywood dreams. When asked which is harder, being a transgendered person or being an immigrant, I would definitely say that there are more adjustments in being a tranny, even in a cosmopolitan city like Sydney. There is still more of the difference, and so there is more of the displacement. Australia can be a very alienating society sometimes, and having said that, I made a lot of adjustments in the way I deal with people. In Manila, for instance, you could just drop by a friend's house anytime, unlike here, where you have to make an appointment each time. I still miss Manila sometimes. I miss my friends, my real friends. It can get quite lonely. I miss my attachments, but at the same time, I've adjusted to the detachments of my life here. In the Western world, being an Asian and a Chinese is actually an advantage. Primarily, we are physically built for it. We're naturally petite and demure compared to our Caucasian counterparts. This is aside from our gentle aura and mystique. It's quite easy to be a Chinese in Manila. Among the Asian Chinese, I think that Filipino Chinese are the most stunning. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe despite being Asian, Filipino culture is a culture of flamboyance, of light-hearted song and dance. It is quite unique in its tolerance. Still, despite its tolerance, unlike in any other country, there is a certain kind of ignorance in the Philippines of Chinese and our condition. We cannot still avoid the heckling sometimes. It is really difficult to classify guys who go for special girls. Guys who like Chinese are probably guys who want to experiment. I think most of them are bisexuals who want the best of both worlds. I just know for a fact that most guys who are interested in Chinese are purely interested for the sexual fantasy or the fetish factor. And I think this is really sad. I would say there are very few guys out there who would actually want to have a serious relationship with a tranny. This is because of the stereotype society has bestowed on our kind. I think we are still misunderstood by society. There is still little acceptance and respect for Chinese out there. It is a sad reality that we are still thought of as freaks, as if we have no feelings and desires. I haven't found a man who is worthy of me. I have so much to offer the right person, and I haven't found the person yet. When I pursued my transformation, no one ever told me that it can be a very lonely life. I ask myself sometimes if this is all there is to the life of a tranny. There must be more to life than this. If it is, I want to be more, so much more. It is quite hard since 4 years have quickly passed by. There is not really much time. There is something lacking in my transformation. I've slept with so many guys, but they all feel so hollow and empty. I can't wait to be a girl, a normal girl. I yearn for permanence, just for some bit of permanence. Sometimes I yearn for someone who would really love me for what I am. A person who would really care for me.